Good afternoon, everyone. Let me begin with a question. What is your dream? When I visit kindergarten and ask these questions, the responses are nothing short of inspiring. An astronaut, one child shouts, eyes gleaming with excitement. President of the United States, another exclaims. It's invigorating to witness such boundless imagination and optimism. In their world, the possibilities are endless. Now, when I ask the same question to my friends and colleagues, the answers take a different turn. One friend says, I'm aiming for private equity. Others say, consulting. But here's the twist. Many of them end up going to grad school because they couldn't secure those jobs in the first place. I'm not here to be cynical or to dampen anyone's aspirations. Instead, I want to highlight how our dreams and goals evolve as we embark our journey through life. As you grow older, we encounter various crossroads, moments where critical decisions must be made. These decisions can significantly alter our path, steering us towards new horizons or away from old aspirations. So, what happens to our dream as we navigate through life's complexities? Do they fade away? Do they transform into something more attainable or perhaps more aligned with our evolving values and circumstances? The reality is that our dreams often change, and that's perfectly natural. What's important is how we make the decisions that guide us through these changes. How do we choose between different paths when faced with pivotal moments? Do we rely on our gut feelings? Do we follow the crowd? Or is there a more effective way? Today, I want to discuss the transformative power of a systemic approach to personal decision-making, an approach that can help us navigate the complexities of life with greater clarity and confidence. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Hyun. I'm a returning third-year student at the University of Toronto. My journey to this point has been anything but straightforward. It's been a winding path filled with unexpected turns, challenges, and opportunities. Throughout my life, I've faced numerous significant decisions, choices that have shaped who I am today. Over time, I've developed a method to approach these decisions systematically, and I'd like to share that with you. Let me take you back to 2013. I was 12 years old, standing at a crucial crossroads in my life. I needed to decide where to attend middle school. Now, for many, middle school might seem like a straightforward progression, but for me, the options were diverse and overwhelming. Should I study abroad in the States? Should I enroll in an international school in South Korea? Or should I continue in the local education system? Each choice presented its own set of opportunities and challenges with long-term implications for my education and personal development. At 12, the weight of this decision felt immense. How could I possibly navigate such a complex choice? Faced with this dilemma, my family and I did something unconventional. We created a flowchart. Yes, an actual flowchart, complete with branches, criteria, and potential outcome. We systematically mapped out each options, considering factors such as academic quality, cultural exposure, language barriers, financial implications, and long-term educational prospects. By visualizing these pathways, we could better understand the potential outcomes of each choice. This approach provided clarity in a situation that was initially overwhelming. It allowed us to break down a complex decision into manageable parts, making the unknowns known. The flowchart transformed an abstract and stressful decision into a concrete and approachable process. Since that initial experience, I've adopted this method whenever I face major decisions. I started creating flowcharts every time my life encountered a significant crossroads. In high school, I had to decide whether to start a nonprofit to support Nepal's earthquake recovery efforts. 2019, I had to select a university among multiple international options. During the COVID pandemic in 2020, I needed to decide whether to take a leave of absence. In 2021, I contemplated when to fulfill my mandatory military service in South Korea. In 2023, I considered founding a telerobotics startup aimed at improving working conditions in the manufacturing industry. Most recently, in 2024, I made the decision to return to the University of Toronto. At each of these junctures, creating a flowchart allowed me to systematically evaluate my options and make informed decisions. Now, you might be thinking, why go through all this effort? Isn't life too unpredictable for flowcharts? It's a valid question. Life is indeed unpredictable, and no amount of planning can account for every variable. However, a systemic approach isn't about controlling every outcome. It's about empowering ourselves to make the best possible decisions with the information available. It's about understanding the potential paths and being prepared to navigate them. This systemic approach brought me 3 significant benefits: visualization, communication, and reflection. Let me delve into each one. Visualization. Visualization is about transforming abstract concepts into concrete representations. When you face complex decisions, the multitude of factors can be overwhelming. Our brains can struggle to process all the variables simultaneously, leading to cognitive overload. By creating a visual representation, we can organize information logically, identify connections, highlight priorities, and simplify complexity. When I was selecting a university in 2019, the choices were vast and varied. A lot of them are in different countries, each with unique programs, cultures, and opportunities. I realized that making this decision based solely on surface-level information or personal biases could lead to unforeseen consequences. We, as individuals, often have cognitive biases. For example, we might favor information that confirms our existing beliefs or rely too heavily on the first piece of information we encounter. By creating a flowchart, I could visualize the potential outcomes of each option, mitigating these biases. I listed out academic factors like program rankings and faculty expertise, personal factors such as cultural fit and extracurricular activities, environmental factors like city versus campus life, financial considerations including tuitions and scholarships, and future prospects such as career opportunities and networking. By mapping out these elements, I could see patterns and interdependencies. For instance, a university with a lower tuition fee might offer fewer research opportunities, impacting future academic pursuits. Visualization helped me assess trade-offs, clarify goals, and reduce overwhelming conditions. This approach enabled me to make a rational, informed decision rather than one based on impulse or limited information. Communication. Significant decisions often involve others, family, friends, and colleagues. Effective communication is essential to share perspective, address concerns, and build support. In 2023, when I was contemplating returning to the University of Toronto, my family had understandable concerns. They worried about the gap in my education, financial strain, and opportunity cost. To facilitate constructive communication, I created a decision matrix. I identified key criteria like academic advancements, career opportunities, financial consideration, personal well-being, and family impact. I asked each family member to rate each option on a scale of 1 to 10. Options included returning to university, continuing to work in the industry, or pursuing alternative education. By compiling the ratings, we could see areas of alignment and divergence. This perspective has several benefits: transparency, objectivity, engagement, and problem solving. For example, financial burden was a significant concern. By identifying this, we could explore solutions like researching scholarships, planning for part-time employment during studies, and creating a detailed financial plan. Through open communication facilitated by the systemic approach, we reached a consensus. My family supported my decision to return to university, understanding the long-term benefits and being part of the solution. It's often difficult to persuade loved ones about the decisions we feel that are right for us. Emotions, generational gaps, and differing values can create barriers. By utilizing a systemic approach, we created a potentially contagious discussion into a collaborative evaluation. Reflection. Reflection is a critical component of personal growth. It allows us to learn from experiences, adjust strategies, and cultivate self-awareness. In 2022, founding the telerobotics startup was an ambitious endeavor. However, as I was preparing to return to university, and due to macroeconomic concerns, the company had to be merged with a parent organization. Initially, I felt a sense of regret. I wondered if I had made the right choices. But then I revisited the flowcharts and the rubrics that I created when making this initial decision. By retracing my thought process, I could see that the decision to start the company was based on sound reasoning and aligned with my goals at the time. Although the merger did not have the outcome that I have envisioned, it was the best strategic move given the circumstances. This ability to reflect objectively reduced my stress and eliminated lingering what-ifs. It provided closure and allowed me to learn from the experience without unnecessarily self-doubt. Reflecting on this, I recognized that failure is not absolute. Setbacks are opportunities for learning. Adaptability is key, and being flexible allows for resilience. The decision-making process was sound, even if the result were differed from expectations. Returning to the broader picture, life is filled with decisions that shape our journey. We often think of systemic approaches as tools reserved for business, engineering, or academia, but they have profound applications in our personal lives. By adopting this method, we can navigate our evolving dreams and aspirations more effectively. We can make choices that are aligned with our true desires and values rather than being swayed by temporary emotions or external pressure. As we move forward, consider how you might incorporate a systemic approach into your own decision-making processes. Next time you find yourself at a crossroads, try mapping out your options. Engage your support system in a structured discussion. Reflect on your decisions to understand and learn from them. While we can't predict every twist and turns that life will present to us, we can prepare ourselves to navigate them with confidence and clarity. Life doesn't come with a manual, but perhaps it can come with a flowchart. Embrace the power of visualization, communication, and reflection. Transform the way you make decisions and in turn, transform your life. Thank you for your time.